There she is. What a pleasant surprise this morning. Yesterday was just storming and raining, and I just smoked weed all day and played The Witcher on my laptop. So that one was a write-off. And today we ride. I'm going to see the guy that I met at the mechanics, actually. His name's Dave, or Dave. And he owns a farm. He has an Italian friend who's also crossed Africa and has a whole bunch of gear there on his farm. And I'm going to go say hey and stay there for a couple of nights and check out the bike and all the other gear. And I might be able to pick up some pannier bags and who knows, maybe all the camping gear that I need. It could all be there in one hit, which would be excellent. So that's what's going to happen today. I think it's about a 3-hour ride, and we'll get out of this neck of the woods and go a bit further inland past Stormvlei. I think it's around a place called Ladesmith. I'll have to double check. But that's what's going on today. Good morning, everyone. Successfully spent my first night at the farm, and wow, it's really, really lovely here. It's kind of like, this is the farmhouse, and it's tucked away behind all of these mountains that you would have seen on the clips before here. It was a really, really stunning drive. Probably one of the most beautiful rides I've done, and I had no idea that I was going to pass through all those mountains or anything. I was like, holy shit, like, how long is this going to go for? I didn't have gloves, my hands were cold, but it's very, very lovely that I'm here. It was freezing last night. It was like 4 degrees, and I'm going to stay here for a couple of nights just to do some work. This is a bike I can salvage. I think I might take the rear tire if it's the right size. I might take these hand guards, chuck them on my bike, and see what else we find, to be honest. There's nothing out here. Me and Mark, who is also living here, we've got to go to the general store, which is open once a week, to go collect some supplies, because he's just recently moved here and going to do some work on this farm and, get it up to scratch. There's termites in there, so I don't know how stable the house is, but it would be really, really lovely once it's fixed up, because this is it's a really, really stunning area. buddy. So, this is the local general store. I think it's open once a week. Let's go check it out. What up? Oh yeah? Not too shabba-doo. And a cute friend on the farm. And you have a ginormous tick on your body. Where is it? I'm gonna see if I can pull it out. Come on. Because I think it's massive. Can you see that? Look at that big thing. So I've got the pliers, and let's go. Ooh, look at this thing. I got him. Hopefully he doesn't bite me. Come on.
You're gonna get tick bite.
Is that a tick?
Yeah. So that's full of blood.
Can't even see the fucking...
Put it here on the cement, yeah?
No bueno. Oh yeah, just full of blood.
Good. We'll just put him in the fire.
We'll just chuck him in the fire. Now I have a friend. Where is he?
Hello.
You wanna say hi? Look at this dude when he gets rubbed. You going to space, mate? You going to space? So this tree here is called Camille During, which means camel thorn. And you can see why it's got these ginormous needles on it. And I am going to name a track that I'm writing with Delirium from Miles from Mars. And we're going to call it Camel During. So I look forward to releasing that at some point. And the inspiration came from this tree because the wood is a beautiful hardwood that's quite smoky and is amazing for the braai. And I'm sure it gives some kind of flavor to the food when you braai on it. What do you want, little one? So, change of plan. I have just realized that my 3-month visa expires in like, I don't know, a bit over a month, and I don't know if this number's going to arrive by then, so I have plans to go to Lesotho, which is 12 hours away, see if I can get through the border, see some things, and then come out and get another 3 months visa, so I can, you know, take my time, have all the time in the world to see some more things, and also stay in South Africa, get my number. And so I think that is the new plan that has come to fruition, and I'll probably leave tomorrow. So I've left the farm, said goodbye to Mark and wished him all the best because, you know, he lost his job, and to staying in that farmhouse just to try and get back on track, you know. He's a Sangoma, which is a shaman from Transkei, and is from one of the tribes there, and he's always moving in and out of that spot because he has spiritual breakdowns, as he calls them. He starts frothing at the mouth and like faints, and no doctor has ever been able to diagnose anything, and he has to go take his medicine at the Transkei to get better. And yeah, he was a cool guy, very cool guy. And I'm currently on my way to Lesotho. Picked up some grub from the service station. Actually looks pretty damn solid. So I'll give myself like 3 days to get to Lesotho and fingers crossed. I'm praying that they let me in with this bike, and I'm also praying that they give me another 3-month visa coming back into South Africa. So I'm absolutely mind blown because as I was riding, it felt like my engine was some kind of resistance was happening, and now the engine's just fully turned off and I'm broken down on the side of the road. And fuck, like, I just took this thing to the mechanic and fixed everything, and I'm 60 kilometers away from where I need to be. I've called up the Airbnb host to send me a tow service, and they're coming to pick me up, and I just have no idea what could possibly be wrong. Like, there's charge in my battery and it's clicking, but the engine's just not turning over. It could be something to do with the starter motor. It could be a solenoid or maybe a fuse or something, but yeah, I just don't know. And I can't believe that I've already broken down on pretty much like the first major trip to South Africa. So we're just gonna have to wait. We're gonna have to wait, see what happens. Ciao, Lance. Back to the mechanics we go with Peter, my savior today.
Hello.
Thanks, Peter. Well, we made it to the hotel room, which is actually lovely. But you know, Africa 1, Zandi 0 today. We'll wait and see tomorrow morning and see what the damage is with the bike. Hopefully it's something very simple to fix. And I'm really having my fingers crossed because I'm so fed up with trying to fix this bike. I just want it to be working so I can go. This is the moment. All good, and such an unnecessary situation to happen, you know. It turns out the spark plugs were dirty, the fuel filter was dirty. They were definitely not new and they should have been replaced in my previous service. And the guy, he just cleaned them. He didn't replace them because I'm in a tiny town in the middle of nowhere that didn't have the parts for it. So yeah, he cleaned the spark plugs, cleaned the fuel filter. He was like, man, when you get to Bloemfontein, the city, you need to buy those parts and install them yourself. And you know, so I'll have to take it apart and put all those bits in myself, which is totally fine. It's not very difficult, but it was just very unnecessary. And even paying him was difficult here. I waited in the ATM for half an hour. A big line of people there. Got to the ATM, didn't have enough money for me to even withdraw, so I had to go back. He had to set up an FPOS machine, and you know, it was just a really unnecessary struggle. So I'm onwards to Bloemfontein today. It's about a 4-hour drive. We'll stay there for the night, get the parts, maybe 2 nights to get this done, get the new fuel filter and everything, and then onwards to Lesotho. Guys, I'm praying to God that I make it to Bloem. There's a lot of wind. I've never ridden against such heavy wind before. And I can't tell if my bike's going to do the same thing or not as yesterday. It's not a new fuel filter, it's just clean. But if the petrol that I bought is dirty and that's what's clogging it, who fucking knows what's going to happen. So fingers crossed. Fuck guys, it's happened again. The same issues happened. It must be really dirty. It's happened again. I broke down again, the same issue. I'm furious, to be honest. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I guess I can call the guy to come and tow me again. It's gonna cost me another 3,000 rand, and like, the issue's not even fixed, nor can I get it fixed. We'll see if I can fix it by myself, which would be excellent. What he did, he said, pull this back, take the pipe off. If there's nothing coming out, then the fuel filter's blocked. So let's have a look there. So we've disconnected this pipe. There's nothing coming out, which yes means this larger filter is blocked, which is fucking insane. There must be so much dirt and shit in this tank. So he said blow it, push it back into the tank, and I'll do this as many times as I need to get to where I need to go. So this is doing my fucking head in. I can't fix this at the moment. Even when I put it on reserve tank, nothing's coming out. That apparently means that there's natural block in the main tank. I got this guy helping me out with his tools, and who knows what's gonna happen now. It's a real headache, to be honest. I was so positive like half an hour ago, and now it's happened, and it just keeps getting worse. All right, so this is plan B. I'm sick of paying for towing services, so this guy might just tow me 30 k's to Colesberg. Yeah. All right. We're good, baby. So it looks like you do come with the place, don't you, cutie? Meow, 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 meow. That means, hey, how are you going in cat language. This is a very cute little spot. What a day. I'm so exhausted. Just skitched a ride behind that four-wheel drive for 30k. Like, I was so nice. Alvain. His name was Al. And wow, lovely people, especially when I need help. There's always someone there willing to help me.
It looks like it's got nuts. Is that pump supposed to go?
The fuel pump's meant to make a noise, is it? Well, at least there is no rust in my fuel tank. Could be a fuel pump, which is an easy fix. Found the issue, and from the fuse box, one of the wires connecting to the ignition was just not working. So we've bypassed it and made a new wire, which is great. That's making my fuel pump go. So the fuel pump was definitely not running. And I guess the second issue, the last time I broke down, was actually because I ran out of petrol, and I ran out of petrol because my speedometer and odometer have stopped working. So I knew like how many Ks I had in the tank left, but the thing wasn't changing. So I just, I couldn't tell how many Ks I've done, and I'm gonna have to get that sorted out somewhere else, but this should be the last of my worries. Got me morning brown. Pretty sure the bike is fixed. We fixed that wire. That was not even activating my fuel pump. I don't think my fuel pump's been running the whole time I've had the bike, and it's just been a gravity pull. As in, like, gravity's just been pulling enough petrol down to keep it going. So that's running. Praying to God that that's the last of my issues for a very, very long time. And let's move on. We're going to Bloom and then to Lesotho. I've made it to my new accommodation in Bloom, which is amazing. I'm actually here, and at this stage, it's a bit of a joke, hey. My speedometer and odometer have stopped working. Like, the needle just stays, and my odometer isn't clicking over anymore, so I have no idea what distance I'm traveling, nor do I have a fuel gauge. But for me to fix this odometer and speedometer, this is a cable, and it goes into this mechanism down here, and I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of gears in it, or a bunch of gears up through this dash, and that's how it tracks. When it goes through all those gears, that's how it's tracking time. And for me to get that fix is going to be so difficult, because no one's going to have this part. It's from 1993. It's like 32 years old. And I don't know what I'm going to do. I think the speed's fine. I don't need to know how fast I'm going. If I get fined, like from a camera, I'm not paying it. I'm not even from these countries. But it would be very handy to know how far I go, because this also doesn't have a fuel gauge. And I think I might just leave it, to be honest. I can just track that on my phone. I know how much I get out of a tank, and I can just see how far I'm riding and make sure that there's petrol on the way. So, never ends. You fix one thing, the next thing breaks. You fix that thing, something else breaks. And I don't know where the end of the line is at this stage.